Yo, what's up, ladies and gentlemen? We are back with Etheria Restart, and today we're going to discuss who to summon for, because we know the Hoyan and the Holden banner are going to drop tomorrow. So we need to break down who's worth your pulls and who should you skip. So without further ado, play the intro. So first things first, we're going to take a look at the boy, the all-seeing blade, Holden. He's going to be with the reason attribute, so he might be good for THEONE by the looks of things, and he has 120 base speed. His skill 3 steadfast conviction. It says here that Holden deals 2 hits of damage equal to 180% of his defense to all enemies. Okay, so that's the AoE that scales off of his defense. Okay, and each attack has a 50% chance to dispel 1 buff, so he strips on top of that. Okay, and he will apply attack down and resistance down for 2 turns with double the chance when the attack crits. So that's basically 100% chance out of 40% attack down and 40% resistance down for 2 turns. Yeah, that's huge. That is huge. That is really huge. And if you build him with a ton of defense, he's going to be hitting for a lot of damage, since that's what he scales off of. All right. Yeah, I'm liking his skill already, man. This is gonna be really good for PvP. Strike through is his skill 2. It says here Holden deals damage equal to 480% of his defense to a single enemy with a 100% chance to push back the target's turn meter by 100% and maximize their skill cooldowns. Oh my god. Oh my god. That is actually huge. That is huge. So he strips, applies attack down and resistance down, AoE damage, and he also has turn meter pushback on top of that, because you know you can't not have turn meter pushback, because it's the turn meter. We're literally in the turn meter meta if I can speak. We're literally in the turn meter meta. So yeah, they have to have that in his kit right there. So that's huge. And he also maximizes enemies cooldown with a 100% chance. Yo, yeah, he is very powerful, man. I'm not gonna lie. I'm liking Holden a lot more than I am Hoyan, and that might sound crazy, but hey, yeah, Holden is doing things to me. Pause. No diddy, he's doing things to me. So let's go and check out his skill 1. So his skill 1 is called Punishment, and it says here that Holden delivers punishment dealing 3 hits of damage equal to 110% of his defense to a single enemy. Okay, and each hit has a 20% chance to apply defense down. Oh my god, his defense down on his skill 1. What the hell? It's 60% defense down. It's for 1 turn though, but I guess to kind of balance it by making a 20% chance to actually land the debuff. But still, man, that's really strong. Oh my god. And he has a passive here called execution mode. When entering battle for every when entering battle for every key 500 defense, increases counter attack rate by 10% and damage result by 5%. Okay. When entering battle for every 500 defense, increase counter attack rate by 10% and damage result by 5%. So yeah, like I said, you're gonna want to build him with a lot of defense, man, a ton of defense, and potentially, like, if you put him on something like Bramble where he can counter, I think the Bramble set's gonna go really good on him. Bramble, something for him to be tanky and to attack more. So yeah, I think Bramble will be good. What else might be good? I don't know, I think maybe, yeah, you want to build him with HP, defense, and if you pair him with people like Valerian, Viper, Rahu, yeah, he's gonna do insane amounts of damage, man. He's gonna do insane amounts of damage. So yeah, Hoyan looks really good. I think he's gonna absolutely destroy THEONE in my opinion, but we have to see. But I'm liking him a lot, man. I think for me personally, I'm pulling him over Hoyan at the moment. So let's head on over and take a look at Hoyan. I just look at what they changed with her kit. So she's going to be of the hollow attribute, so green. Let's see. So she has, let's see her speed. So she has 120 base speed. Okay, that's cool. So execution right. This is an order not to be disobeyed. Hoyan consumes 50% of her current HP to deal 450% damage to a single enemy, and for every 10% of max HP loss, this attack's damage increases by 10%. So yeah, she's gonna be consuming half her HP to do a ton of damage, and for every 10% of the HP loss, the attack damage increases. So she's gonna be, so this basically is gonna scale up. This skill 3 scales up. Yeah, this is a lot of damage, man. Her passive, Disillusion. She applies Soul Ward to herself for 1 turn, and Soul Ward basically means that HP will not drop below 1 point, so she's basically immortal. And immediately uses Execution right on the target that attacked her. So she basically does her ultimate. So this is basically it. So she applies the Soul Ward to herself and then immediately does her ultimate. And the effect has a 4-turn cooldown. When Hoyan defeats an enemy target, she will receive fallen allies based revive fallen allies based on the HP reduced from the defeated target. So basically, she revive your allies with HP equal to the amount of HP the enemies lost. Revive and applies revive ban to the defeated target. So she also prevents allies, but she prevents your enemies from reviving. So she's a direct she's a direct counter to Sanya, to Beotin. Any unit that revives in PvP, she stops that. She basically says hell no. After each complete trigger of this passive effect, after using Execution right or reviving allies, Hoyan applies 1 stack of Fleeting Grace. Fleeting Grace means each stack increases attack by 40%, undispellable. Ayo. Yeah, she's gonna do a lot of damage, man. To herself, stacking up to 3 times. Man, I'll be real. These two are really powerful, man. I'm not even gonna cap. These dudes are really powerful. Like, luckily for me, I'm a whale, so it's whatever. I'll pick up both of them for content and shit like that. So I'm picking up both anyways. But it's like, yo, if you were free to play and you didn't have anything saved up, you'd have to pick between one of these dudes, and that'd be a really hard decision to make, man. Because both of them have their values for PvP, and to a certain degree, they both have values in PvE as well. More so, I believe Holden is more valuable in PvP. But then again, Hoyan also has the revive. So, hey, it's really hard to say who's better in PvE. But for PvP, in my opinion, I think that Hoyan's thing where she I feel like she's meant to be a counter to Cleave, but I believe Messiah actually counters Hoyan, right? So Hoyan isn't actually going to be able to dominate a Messiah. So if you're still using Messiah, then you're still going to be good, because Messiah actually ignores passive, right? Hold on, let me put it up. Where's the boy Messiah? Yeah, on his skill 3, ignores the target's passive when attacking. So he don't give a shit. He don't care, man. Like, that's the crazy thing. Messiah is really strong, man. So even though Hoyan is insanely strong, she's basically gonna counter every other Cleave team besides Messiah. And her skill 1, basically it says here, deals 2 instances of 130% damage to a single enemy, with each attack having a 25% chance to inflict wound. Wound, which basically means that you can't heal for 2 turns. Okay. Yeah, she's a direct counter to all the healers, man, besides Ling Lu. All of them that can revive. Actually, yeah, no, she's a counter to only Sanya. What am I saying? She don't counter Mia, because Mia don't revive. Same with Ling Lu, but yeah, she basically stops healing. Period. She stops healing. Period, and then she stops revives. Period. So Sanya's gonna be getting put through the dirt right now. If you pull a Hoyan and you run into Sanya, you're destroying that shit. So yeah, in my opinion, both are really strong. Based on this, I do think that Hoyan is going to be a really nice PvP counter for like the anti-meta right now, where everyone's just running speed and cleave. But what I really think that many people are sleeping on, I'm sure many CCs, many players aren't going to be paying attention to, is that Holden is probably worth pulling for more than Hoyan, strictly for the fact that he's running this, or he's going to be bringing this like a tanky counter-attack meta, right? And the team or the comp may not be perfect right now, right? But we do have units. You could make a full team, like I said, of units that counter-attack and do that type of shit, but they could be setting shit up for the future where they would be a tank meta, right? And I think Holden is going to be one of those units that dominates in the tank meta, right? So like I said, Holden, Rahu, many people have been sleeping on Rahu. So like Holden, Rahu, then Selins. Like, don't even forget Selins, guys, because Selins is actually able to reflect. Hold on. Yeah, she's able to. Where is it? But she's able to actually, yeah. She's also able to, yeah, here it is. Rain Curtain. She's able to absorb 50% damage and reflects 85% of the absorbed damage back. So if you run a Selene, Holden, Rahu, and Valerian, right? Or someone of that nature, or maybe you swap, you throw in a, like, because that's the thing with this counterattack meta. It doesn't matter how much turn meter pushback you do. So it's gonna actually count with a turn meter pushback meta in of itself, because it doesn't matter how far you push my turn back. If you can't kill me on your turn, and I counterattack and do a ton of attacks before I even get to my turn, you're gonna be wiped out before I even have my turn. Just strictly based off of counterattacks. So yeah, I'm reflecting damage. So yeah, this is gonna be a really strong comp that many people aren't gonna pay attention to until it's already here. So don't let it creep up on you guys while you're sleeping on it. Be aware of the Holden's abilities, man. He's gonna be a guy that's popping up maybe a month or two from now. He's gonna be really meta and really powerful and dominate PvP. So keep an eye out on the boy Holden. But yeah, should you summon? Yes, I highly recommend you guys summon who over the other. Then that's strictly based on your account, right? That's strictly based on your account. If you're trying to push PvP, I would say go for Holden, right? More so than Hoyan, because like I said, Messiahs run rampant and are all over the place in PvP. Messiahs are all over the place in PvP, and he's literally a raid up character right now, right? So even if people didn't get lucky and pull him off the standard, they're literally guaranteeing him off the raid up, right? And he ignores passive, so he shuts down Hoyan. So I do think Holden has more potential because he's already strong, but he's for what team comp will come later down the line, and from what we already have in the game, he's gonna be really deadly, man. Like, he's gonna be really deadly because everyone's running speed and cleave. But but when you run into a brick wall that doesn't falter or doesn't move back, right, and that's still there after you do your entire turn with your cleave team, and they counter a bunch of times before it's even their turn, that's what I'm gonna say. But in my opinion, I believe Holden's a better unit than Hoyan. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Who are you gonna summon for? And yeah, like, subscribe, and make sure you hit the notification bell so you never miss a video. Join the Discord, and yeah, take care. Peace, guys.